I continue to believe the best people are free.
Hello. I don't know if I've been more excited about a show or to tell you this cool thing that I've been holding inside of me. I have been working really hard with a few amazing people to take the magic and the fire and the love in the Untamed book and turn it into a TV show to come into your living rooms. And I haven't really wanted to talk about it much, even though it's been going on for a long time, because I feel like when I talk about things too early that I'm making, they like lose all of the magic. Like I need the containment to build the pressure of it inside of me or something. So I've been keeping it to my little self. But we have kind of a milestone right now, which is that we are getting ready to take the beginnings of this project we've made and try to find a home for it. So we thought we'd celebrate that by sharing with you today, first, on the We Can Do Hard Things podcast, the person who is going to play me in the Untamed TV show. So today we are joined by her. You're about to find out who she is. Big hint is she is a she. And I'm so freaking excited to introduce you to her and her to you. Many of you are going to already know and love and adore her. But if you don't know her yet, you'll be in love with her in the next hour. She has become such a force and friend to me, just so important to me and to our family. And I cannot wait for the magic that we're all going to make together. So today she joins us. Let's jump right into our conversation. Okay. So
I would like an apology from my wife.
Okay,
right
we're
quick.
going to start. We Can Do Hard Things by apologizing. I am sorry, Abby, for not handling the technical difficulty that we just had with the grace that you have become accustomed to in moments of crisis from me.
Got it.
Okay?
Thank you. I feel better.
Okay, everything's fine. Welcome to We Can Do Hard Things. Bless you for having missed the last 5 minutes where the tech went wrong and my life was over, but my life is back. And I'm glad because there's no way I could be more excited for the next hour, which in my defense is why I wanted everything to go perfect, which is why I was so upset before. Okay, you understand?
Here we go.
So, what we're about to do, dear listener of We Can Do Hard Things, is we're about to share with you the person that I needed the universe.
The only person
That I needed the universe to provide.
First real, aside from Share the Mic Now when you were there a lot, but this is really our first like eye contact, you know?
Yes.
I know. It's like looking at the sun looking at you, Sarah Paulson.
Oh my God.
And are you in the closet? Are you in a closet, Sarah Paulson? We're just going to call you
Sarah
Paulson the whole time.
Okay. I'm in my closet. I'm in a closet in my home. Not the only closet.
Only
But this one is the one I chose. Yeah, there's this one. It's got sweaters and I thought I needed soft things.
Yeah.
How do I sound? Am I too close to the mic?
Maybe a smidge.
Oh. I like your honesty.
But I don't care because like I said before, you are perfect and everything you do is perfect forever. So what I want to say to you, Sarah, and what I want to introduce the world to is how we came to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because for a very long time, we had a sad relationship where I was the only one who knew how close we were. And honestly, I felt like it was a little lopsided and non-reciprocal. But the team of people from Bad Robot, Jesse Nelson, and this team that was making this show knew that Sarah Paulson was the North Star of this. And so at one point they said, we're going to have to ask her to do it. If you're going to continue to be certain about it. And I said, is there any other way? And so they recommended that I write you a letter,
They
which
did.
is why, because they didn't want me to speak to you in person yet, because they wanted us to have a shot.
Which is
Right?
wise because Sarah might right now be reconsidering this this whole situation.
She is not. She's never been more excited about anything. Truly. Ever. Ever. That's the truth. You can see as evidenced by what I think is about to happen now. If it's happening now, is it happening now?
Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to read the email that I sent to you.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah
And am I
Paulson.
reading the one I send back?
Would you like to?
I mean, I don't like acting on the spot. I would like to hear your
Exactly.
interpretation. of
Okay,
me.
that's
Okay,
So
yeah.
I think that would
Yeah.
be kind of great.
Yeah. So I'm going to be Sarah Paulson
This will be
Yeah.
so funny.
in a minute. Okay. So this is what I wrote to you. Dearest Sarah, everything is hard right now. I like to just start with that just as a level setter in all the things I say. The way I love the world when things are hard is to keep creating beautiful, true, hopeful things. And the way I love myself is to co-create those things with beautiful, true, hopeful people. To that end, I have forever worshipped you as an actor. I understand that this is not a unique experience, as the entire world worships you as an actor. I will tell you this. I never imagined I'd dare to ask you to play me. I thought you were too elegant, sophisticated, cool. I am many things, but cool is not one of them. I am warm, toasty, sweaty even. Then you showed up at our first Share the Mic Now call. You were goofy. You were real and present and so open-hearted and vulnerable. A little sweaty even. And you took the action seriously. You were careful. You cared about the women involved. After Share the Mic ended, I began watching every interview you've ever done and reading every article ever written about you. Sarah, Untamed is, on the surface, a sexy, funny, modern classic love story between two women. Underneath it is a story about women breaking free from conditioning and tribalism to save ourselves, each other, and the planet. The reason the book is selling at astronomical levels is that this is what's needed in this exact moment. We need a woman to lead us out of the matrix of patriarchal, capitalistic white supremacy. But we need her to do it a little clumsily and sweatily and simply by trying to live her own fucking life. Now I ask you, who the hell else can play this role but you? You are already this role. Your lifelong resistance to labels and commitment to creating a life and love of your own, your activism and love for others, your twinkly eyes. Are you aware that every few words you say, your eyes twinkle? I am obsessed with eye twinkles because they are proof that a woman is up to something. Dear God, give me a woman who is up to something. And Sarah, your constant ability to sway between the dark and the light, the way you stay joyful while rushing towards the hard stuff, the pain of the world. I like how you use your life and talent and fire and power, Miss Paulson. I really want you to play me. I want to make something together that the entire world can claim as a moment of hope and beauty and a map of the way forward. I want to make something that the queer community can claim as our own celebration and proof of what we've always known, that the best life lies just beyond where they told us to stay. We would have so much fun. We would have so much fun. Love, Glennon.
Oh my God.
It's the one of the great emails of all time, I think.
Wow.
Personally.
She'll really get you.
So I send it. I send it. And then I sweat. But I think only like 2 days later, I
Quick,
get back this email.
quick turnaround.
It just says this. Okay. Let me be frank. I have never gotten an email that made me sweat and cry and sweat and laugh and sweat and cry and sweat whilst, that's right, whilst making my hands shake a little. Also, did I mention the sweating? Glennon. I truly don't even know what to say or where to begin. Okay. Here's what I know. I revere you, top to toe.
I love that line.
I cannot believe that you want me to play you. I have so many feelings. Always with the 1 million feelings. Is this email making you rethink things? I'm sorry. I will stop shouting now. All caps, all caps. Line break. We take a breath. I would be so honored. I would be so blessed. I would be so scared. I would feel so incapable. I would do it anyway. I'm sure I'm not supposed to tell you all of these things that I'm feeling, but I don't know how else to do, well, life, really. Your letter made me feel like I could fly. More soon. Sweaty Paulson.
So
I think that's a pretty good email too, I have to
It's
say.
so good.
so
Mostly
good.
just because it is just me represented as clearly as I possibly can represent myself. There's not a single hyperbolic, even though I on the face of it, I can imagine someone going, this is not, who could possibly, but that's just me
Yeah, it is.
in a nutshell, in little words, letters put together that form words.
Oh,
It is. So, Sarah, at
Yeah.
the point that that this email reached you,
Mm-hmm.
you could play anybody in the whole world, right? You are, sister, can you read her just actual bio real quick?
Oh God.
Oh,
It
God.
It would be a damn honor. I mean, it would take the hour, so I'm just gonna condense it. But as you know, Sarah Paulson is the first person that's ever in the whole wide world win all 5 major TV awards in 1 year, sweeping the Emmy, Golden Globe, SAG, Critics' Choice, and Television Critics Association Awards for her portrayal of Marcia Clark in FX's People vs. O.J. Simpson. She
So
starred in
good.
The Run, which
Yep.
was the most watched original film on Hulu. She stars mesmerizing Ratchet, eerily transcendent as Linda Tripp in Impeachment, both of which
Oh.
she also executive produces, as well as complex as they come in the Academy Award-winning film 12 Years a Slave.
Yes.
She is a Sagittarius, an Aquarius moon, a Virgo rising. She's afraid of flying. She loves watching The Real Housewives. And most importantly, she and Holland Taylor are mothers to 2 absolutely perfect rescue pups, Winnie and Louise.
Oh.
Wow. That got all the good stuff. That's all
Good
the good
job,
stuff.
Sarah. Good job, Sarah Paulson.
So funny when you hear it sort of spelled out like that. It's like, oh, all those things I have told myself about maybe it's not going well, or maybe I haven't done it. And then I go, oh, wait a minute. You're talking about me. That's
Yeah.
wild. That
I
is wild.
know.
Wild.
I feel like I wish every listener of We Could Do Hard Things when they wake up in the morning could just get a
Yeah.
bio read.
yes.
So somebody read them a bio before they get out of bed. Everybody's done a lot of good shit. And
It's so hard to remember when you're just in
Yeah.
the thick of your day and you just go, wait a
Yes.
minute. Everything feels so hard. And then you're like, but
Mhm.
wait, I've done some hard things. You know?
Yes,
Mhm.
that's right.
Did.
So why then you're in, that this point you can do any role. Like why Untamed? Why did you say yes to this role?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I think I told you this a little bit, that I was convinced it would be a different actress, and I don't know if I'm supposed to, but
you can, yes.
I can say I
yes.
thought it would for sure be Reese Witherspoon. I thought for sure. I remember, I was following the whole launch of the book, and Abby, getting you on the speakerphone with Reese, and the book being chosen for, it just was, I just thought, oh, it's going to be Reese. It's going to be Reese. It's going to be Reese. And of course, why shouldn't it be Reese? Reese is incredible. And then I thought, well, that'll never be me. And then I thought it'd be Kristen Bell. Then I thought it would be, a lot of sort of, I don't know, very charming, littler. I'm a little taller than you. I don't know how, maybe I'll play the part on my knees. I'm not quite sure what we'll do. Put like knees and shoes on me. Because you're like I'm like a so I just thought I don't know. I thought it would never be me, but I dreamt about it being me. And I would watch you read passages of the book every place I could possibly watch you read passages of the book. And I kept thinking, I don't know, sometimes there are these, and I know you'll know what I'm talking about, these things that are impossible to describe, but this sort of feeling I felt in my body that it should be me.
Mm-hmm.
Just thought it should be me. And I didn't even know it was going to be made into a television program for people to watch. But I just thought, when they make this, it should be me. It won't be me, but it should be me. And I think the reason I want to do it is because I'm terrified of failing, which is a barometer I often use for the things that I know I must do. So I didn't know it was going to come to me, but I thought it should be me, and I didn't know why, and I couldn't explain why, but just something about it just, I almost sometimes get this is going to make it sound like I think I'm some kind of psychic friends network person, but I'm not. But I had this like shaky feeling when I would see you read it, and I would watch you and Abby, and I would see interviews with you and sister. And I just thought I just would get a little shaky, and I didn't know why. And then when I got your email, that's why, even though the email seems a little over the top, my response.
We don't do over the top. We believe
We don't
in
do over the top. This is just really what I felt, and I couldn't believe that it was happening. I couldn't believe it. But it terrifies me. It terrifies me because you belong to people, is what I feel. There are people who kind of claim you and need you, and all that you represent, to feel brave enough, I think, to take steps, to make just little movement, even internalized movements, anything. I think you really are a North Star for a lot of people. And I feel that is an enormous responsibility, that people will have attachments to the you that is the you for them. And I will, of course, try to do that, but it also has to be sort of filtered through the you that is you that I see, and that, because that is the ultimate thing too, is that you're going to sort of give this over. I mean, not that you won't be around for all of it and tell me when I'm doing it wrong, which never will happen.
No, because I won't know.
No, I don't. You will. You'll be like, that doesn't feel like me. Like, I sometimes think about, like, will I do a voice? Will I try to do your voice? Will I not try to do your voice? All these things that I'm already thinking about. And there's so many things we still don't know yet. So, I just don't want to mess up what, but I do believe that sometimes that is, for me anyway, incredible motivator, for like a lockdown deep dive, to sort of block out the fear component and just focus on, the only way for me to deal with the fear is to focus on the act of the doing and learning everything I can. And so the fear is mostly why I want to do it. And also, you're the greatest person who ever lived.
Oh,
I agree. And I
Right?
think it's so fascinating that to be such a high performer,
greatest person who ever lived.
you are.
There's
Ever.
only one greater one, and that's Sarah Paulson.
I don't think so. It might be
about
Abby.
me?
And also
I know,
you.
it's weird.
And also
that-
you, and also sister.
That's a weird thing. I just said, honey, you are the greatest person. And my wife just said, Sarah Paulson,
Sarah
you
Paulson
actually are
Right.
the other one.
That's right.
What do you do? Like when you said right now you're trying to figure out, can you just, again, I'm dripping with sweat right now.
I'm sweating too. I'm sweating
okay.
too. Okay.
Whew, this is a sweaty one. Can you talk about what do you do? Like you're trying to figure out how to play someone. Like freaking Linda Tripp.
Yeah, you got your eyebrows back.
Like-
I see.
Yeah,
You
they
got
grew
your
in.
eyebrows back.
Good job.
they grew in.
Congratulations.
It was one of, thank you, because it really was a very painful time for me. I mean, can you imagine if you just took your eyebrows off your face, what you might feel about that? Like, it doesn't seem, it's a sort of silly attachment to have to one's eyebrows, but really think about taking them off your face.
Listen.
And all of a sudden the distance between, and also I have a bit of a high forehead. Let's not lie. So if you take the eyebrows away,
You
the
got a
distance
five head.
between the top of the eyelid and the top of the head is too big. It's too big. And so it's hard. And it was hard for me to feel, you're playing a character at work 16, 18 hours a day. Great. Nothing I could want to do more. It was a heaven on earth to me. But then you
Wow.
come home and you still have nothing on your face that used to be there. And so it's like you're still Linda Tripp at home,
Oof.
but you're you. It's
Oof.
really unpleasant. That was the most unpleasant part of it, was
I
that
mean-
I had no eyebrows on my face.
How did Holland deal with this?
This is one of those moments where it was very clear to me that this person loves me because she always was she said, I think you look beautiful. All I can do is see your beautiful features. I'm not going to say what she says to me because it will sound self-aggrandizing, and I'm not in the market of that. It's uncomfortable for me, but she made me feel, I had to gain weight for it. My body changed. My eyebrows were gone. I had these hideous nails that I lived with for these, like, no offense to all the people who love an acrylic nail. It's not my jam. I don't love it. They were like square 90s French tip.
Okay.
And it was almost a year of this, and I couldn't take them off. So I would come home hairless, with a body I
Sarah.
didn't recognize, with, hands that weren't mine. It just was a trying time. And this is the part that is a little deranged, is that I kind of got off on it. I'm like, look at me. I'm allowing my body to be taken over by another person, and I'm that committed. And then there are other moments where I'm like, what was I thinking? This was a horrible mistake. And for what,
Yeah.
to like embody this other person, to then I don't know. It's a really weird thing to choose to do with your life. It's like,
How
I
are you
think
going to transform to be like Glennon?
well,
because you do transform.
Yeah.
That's the thing about you. It is
yeah.
there are so many people who you're like, oh yeah, that's that person playing someone. But
Yeah.
that's not what the experience is. Watching you act is freaking weird. It's like
Yeah, I'm like,
an
oh,
actual transformation.
I hate her. Why
Right,
do
or
I hate her? She's my friend and I hate her.
Or she's just like brilliant at getting you to see the whole full humanity of a human being, because she
Yes,
doesn't play a
complex.
character. She plays a human being every
That's
time,
right.
all the prism of it. So what the hell and how and WTF?
What the hell? And
How do you do
WTF?
that? How will you
I-
prepare to play me?
Can I ask you a question to maybe answer the question?
Absolutely.
I could no more explain to you how I do it or what it is. I can tell you all the, like, I will work with a movement person, and you move in ways I don't think you know, but you're going to become aware of them.
Oh,
You could say that again.
Yeah.
She doesn't
Yeah.
have any idea.
You're going to become aware of the way you walk and the way
I
you
can
do
help.
things. Yeah.
I can help. I mean,
will
it's
be-
beautiful. It's not bad. Like you're
Yeah.
making a face like it's bad. It's just like the way you are.
yeah.
It's the way you are. It's the Glennon isms. There'll be things, I will watch more video of you than you've ever watched of yourself. I remember having a conversation once with someone who was married to a person on Saturday Night Live. And she told me that the only way that he did what he did was he would pick all you have to do is pick like one undeniable physical communication of a person, like something that everybody notices right away. And whether you notice it or not, maybe not even the thing, but it's the way they move their hair or what they do with their hands. And it will sell it if they've got all the right things on in the costume and stuff. So there's a version of that. Like I remember with Linda Tripp, the woman I worked with, whose name is Julia Crockett, who you will come to know. And she's an incredible person. I'm not a singer. I apologize for that moment.
Neither is
but-
Glennon, so we're good.
We got a couple of good. I hope we have a singing moment in the show where I can try to do that. But she watched so much tape of Linda, and there were some things Linda did that if I did them, you would turn the television. She had a blinking thing that was very intense, and I thought, well, I can't do that blinking thing. It will be so distracting, and so there'll probably be things about your physical self that I won't do because maybe it would be a lot.
Like the voice. Like
Oh, no,
maybe.
No,
gonna
I
do
think
the
I have to
voice?
say, good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Oh,
Good
God,
morning.
help me.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hi. Good morning. I don't know. I mean, this is just like my initial hit on it that is like not with any work on it at all. So it will be better than that. But it'll be a thing you'll decide. You'll go, I can't, that feels too, I don't know. I don't know how any of it will happen. I just know that it will.
Yeah.
I'm trying to embrace this new thing in 2022 for myself, which I have never dipped my toe into, which is allowing myself to be confident that I can do what I have spent 20 years of my life doing.
Oh, yeah.
I have spent an enormous amount of time fertilizing this part of my being that thinks that in order to do my job well, I have to be disparaging about my own abilities. I have to not bring self-reverence. I'm not allowed to sort of acknowledge that. And it's like we all, I think, collectively, I know that I've been guilty of this. Like a confident woman freaks me the F out. Like I get so freaked, and it's because I don't operate that way, that I allow myself to decide that it's somehow negative, that a woman would, think that they're good at what they do. A human being would allow, but I think men get such a sort of broader, there's so much latitude for them to embrace their greatness. Whereas I think as women, it's really hard for us to do confidently. And some of that is from the the dangerous things that happens, the interplay between women, about not wanting that from other women and feeling so threatened by it. And so I am trying so hard to acknowledge that I have spent over 20 years doing what I do. And there were times when I didn't know that I knew more and less, but I have to acknowledge at my current age that I know how to do it. It doesn't mean that I'll always do it well, because I do believe in that thing of like the Marsha Clark thing was I was the right person to play that part. And it was a magic alchemy and synergistic thing across the board. And there are other things that I've done since and that I will do in the future that will either have that or won't. And some of it we can't control. But I can acknowledge that I know I will do my absolute best, and that will be good enough.
Yeah, that's right. That is right. What do you think when you think about playing this role, are there things that you see for yourself? Now I know you're going to point, so I'm going to stop. Do you know when you were at my house and we were chatting?
I was sitting on your hands?
I was so, yes, I get I'm like, oh, wait, am I doing a thing that she's going to notice and start doing? Okay. My question is, if I remembered how to breathe or move, what I would say is, are there things that you find are similar about us and are different? Like, what thing about me or the me from Untamed or the me that you watch in videos feels like something that you're tapping into because they're similar? And what do you feel like is a huge difference between us?
I think there are more alignments in our essential being, I think. I really do feel this, which is why when I would think that it was going to be Kristen Bell, I would get so upset because I'm like, I don't know if she's the same, that I'm the same like Glennon inside. I'm like Glennon inside. Kristen Bell is great. She's the greatest ever. Did you see that sloth video on Ellen? Like, there's nobody better or greater ever. But it's really how I feel. And I don't know why, except for the things that I do know about why. But in terms of the differences, you are braver than I am, I think. I think you are. I understand why you're making that face, but I do think you are. I do know why you're making the face, but I do think you are. I just, because let me say this. Here's why. I hide behind character. Myself gets revealed in the roles that I'm playing, right? And if people are paying attention, they might notice some like connective tissue that's in each character that they might be able to connect to something about me. You are you out in the world as you. You are not hidden. You are not hiding. I ultimately, as a performer, inherently am hiding a little bit and revealing at the same time. So I think there is an inherent bravery in just revealing oneself the way you do.
Where do you feel like you're not hiding? Where in what parts of your life do you feel like you are the most seen and held, and where you're not performing and you're just the coziest and the most, where do you feel you're belonging?
With Holland, most significantly, for sure. It's the most, I've never slept the way I sleep when I'm next to Holland. That I just like it was the most significant indicator to me beyond the other sort of more overt, obvious things. It was like, oh, the peace I feel. And I'm not a peaceful person internally. I am a kind of chaotic, anxious, overthinking person. And Holland has some of that too, but she's a much more practical, logical, optimistic person than I am generally. And so, but there's something about, we sleep holding hands. This is a real thing that we do. And it's not even something we started doing or tried to do. It's just how we sleep. And that is, I just feel most peaceful with her for sure. And I have pockets of that in my relationships with some of my closest friends in the world. Amanda Pete and I have been known to literally wet our pants while being together from laughing so hard, like
Yes.
an actual pee.
Same
Actual.
with
We
sister.
we had to pull over once on the road, and she was wearing a kind of sweatpant where there was like a bloom of water. All of a sudden, I was like, "Oh my God, you peed!" And I couldn't speak. And there's a sound that I make and that she makes when she's laughing so hard. That is so funny that even just thinking about it really makes me, it's just like unacceptable. It's like I can't explain it. It's so horrible. And it's just, we've almost gotten into car accidents. It's been bad, it's bad. It's bad and great and delightful. And when she laughs, sometimes she goes like something happens with her teeth, and she's got really big teeth. You could play the piano on Amanda's teeth. And just last night, it was her birthday yesterday, and we were talking on the phone, and something happened, and she laughed, and she did that. Like, it almost sounds like a machine gun, which is nothing worse than a machine gun, but it's like when it's coming out of her teeth, it's only funny. Anyway, that was a tangent I went on, but there is a lot of peace I have with a person who can wet their pants laughing.
Yes.
And my sister as well. My sister and I have a very, we're so close in age. And so we have a laughing thing too. That's unnatural, very natural to us. But I think people are like, okay, nobody knows what you're laughing
get
at.
it.
Nobody thinks it's funny.
Yes,
Reel it
we
in.
get it.
Reel it in.
My sister and I learned very young that in uncomfortable situations, we would start laughing with each other. So this is when we were like 7 and 10. So Sarah, we had this thing when my dad would be yelling at us. We figured out if you put your arm over your face like you're scratching your back, you can cover your face. You can be laughing. We would just be standing next to each other, covering our faces. And to this day, the laughing. Abby told me, asked her one time, when is she most jealous? Because I'm kind of a jealous person. And
Me
so,
too. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Jealous.
Yeah, me too. Jealous, really too.
Really
Holland, not jealous. Doesn't get jealous. Holland doesn't get jealous. No. I'm
Abby
jealous.
doesn't really get jealous either. And I told her, I said, when are you ever jealous? And she said, the only time I'm really jealous is when you're laughing so hard at your sister. Because she can make you laugh like no
more
one
than
else
anybody.
can.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Abby.
Yeah, Abby.
We haven't.
I know.
No, we haven't. We haven't
I
cast an
know.
Abby because it feels so huge and important. What are you hoping for in that casting, in that chemistry, in that, what are we going to do?
Don't you think Abby kind of has to weigh in very heavily about who that person is?
That's what I meant to say. Abby, what do you think?
I'm just saying, the reason why is that I wonder if it should be for Abby what it was for you with me.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I honestly, when I think about it, my brain goes to like, where is she? I don't know. Is it who? I don't know.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. It's gotta be.
We've talked about it, and it's very weird to actually have this conversation about who's going to play me in a television. Right. It's a very weird conversation to have. So I have to like
all right, fine. I'll do it, Abby. I'll do it. Go ahead.
But wait, Sarah, you should know that Lizzie, one of my best friends, Liz Gilbert, tried out for the role over the phone. So she was sending me pictures of like her hair in a mohawk, and then like trying to look like Abby. And then she sent me pictures. She said, well, I know Sarah's great, but have you seen this? And she sent a picture of herself in like a cardigan with 2 glasses on her head, trying out for the role of me.
Okay.
So
I don't want to
compete.
I can't compete with Elizabeth Gilbert for the part of Glennon Doyle. Like, I kind of feel like if you have to pass the baton, I would understand. I would understand.
Yeah.
I don't know who it should be.
I don't know either. And I kind of feel like it should just be like a new person.
I
was thinking about that too, because here's why. Let me say why. Even in the book, and it's very cinematic. Even in the book, it's cinematic, this moment of you seeing Abby for the first time. And the idea of not having an attachment to an actor that audiences have any particular feeling about, but that the idea that it's about Glennon's experience, AKA me or Elizabeth Gilbert. I'm sure there's others. I'm sure all the people will comment below. about who they would rather see, and that will be a great day for me and my
They will
shrink.
not.
So in advance,
will
I
not.
say thank you and F you. No, some people might, and
No,
that's
they
okay.
won't. I will have a block party. I will have a block party that day, and I will
Okay.
block.
Okay,
block
great.
if that
I've never
happens.
liked a block party more. But the idea that it is your experience of seeing this person and what happens to you when you see her
Mhm.
is easier to do when it's a person that nobody has any should just be some girl out there, woman out there who's a star, and she just don't know it yet.
That's
Mhm.
right.
But we do.
That's right. I think that's it.
Open casting call for Abby.
Yeah.
Do you know what's interesting is that is what Sarah McCarran, who is going to be the showrunner, and you and I had a meeting with her.
Sure did.
During that meeting, Sarah Paulson, I don't even know if you know what you were doing in that meeting,
I
but
don't.
when Sarah McCarran started talking, we were needing somebody who understood, who was the same as us on the inside and who understood all of the layers of what this show needed to mean to the world. And she started talking fire out of her mouth. Okay. The fire we needed. And Sarah, you were like you were rocking back and forth. I was like, okay, so yeah, you were rocking back and forth in your chair the whole time she was talking. And I was like, okay, so I guess we're not having a poker face during this one. I guess we're just gonna,
I'm not great at that. That's not my strong suit.
You were so excited. And I was so excited. She's amazing. She's just amazing.
Have you guys been watching Station 11? Because I meant to email you about this because I'm possessed by it. And there was one episode in particular written by Sarah McCarran. And I was like, boom, bong, ding, bong. We already have her. Ding, dong, ding, dong.
Yes. And we've been meeting every day to we've just been talking about all of what the show needs to mean. I'm bringing her up because she said those words to me that you just said.
She did?
Yes. She said, I feel like it needs to be, everyone needs to have the reaction when they're watching, their own reaction like you had. Like we want everybody to go, holy shit, who's that?
Right.
Holy shit, what is that? Holy shit. So
what
right?
is that?
There she
is. Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. I can't wait for you to Sarah's amazing.
We knew it. We knew it, didn't we?
We knew it. She got on the call, started talking. We were like, there she is.
We're like, there she is.
What is that?
What
That's
is
right.
that? There she is.
So, I have a Sarah Paulson question. Your whole theater background informs everything that you do. And I heard you say that text is queen. You're text derived for your process. And I heard you say that you dig in there until you find out what is at stake in every story, like what's truly at stake. And then you let that, your person you become, emerge from what's at stake. What is at stake in this story, in the story of Untamed?
A life, everything, I think. Oh my God. I mean, sometimes when I get asked a question where there's 15 answers to it, I almost see like a paint wheel that you get when you look at colors of paint. And if you spin it really fast, there's a million colors on there, but they actually go white when you spin it really fast. So it's like I see nothing all of a sudden. The reason I said that about stakes when it comes to acting is because I believe in every person's life, everything is at stake all the time. And I think sometimes people, when you're acting, there's a lot of throwing it away things and this casualization of things and making things less important. Sometimes is a style of acting. And it's just never been my style because I always think anything anyone is pursuing in life matters more to them than anything in the world, whether it be, finding shelter for their child or, making a choice to leave a bad situation for a better one or, what they want to put in their coffee. Like sometimes things like that are vitally important.
Amen.
And in terms of what is at stake in Untamed, to me, it's about survival and freedom and stepping into one's power and owning one's choices and being able to breathe. I think the book is too huge in terms of its importance and its value to even put, and almost also because of the way it's written, each piece of it, each individual. What do you call them, Glennon? I mean, are they chapters? They're not even, are they chapters? Are they, you know
I
how
didn't. They're not.
they're not. So it's like each
Story.
vignette. I mean, I don't even know how to categorize it, which is what's so incredible about the book, is that it's totally original too. It's just never been, which is what's so exciting about what I imagine will be the thing about what you and Sarah will, that is so important, I think, to it feeling like the book, is to have it not be a sort of traditional way of telling a story.
That's right.
Because it isn't a traditional story. You are not a traditional person. And yet in its lack of traditionality, is that a word?
I like it.
I don't know. I went with it. It becomes completely universal. It's like in its uniqueness, it is the story of every woman, every person, really. But it's hard for me to put into a kind of categorical stakes, because I think each little part of the book, each one has a different velocity to it. And sometimes they're still, and sometimes they're full of fire, and sometimes they're quiet. And I don't know. It's just so like a person. It's so multifaceted, like a person, It's just so amazing to me.
What do you feel like is, when you think about your life and your relationship to all people and to the queer community, what do you, because it was very important to me. I mean, I was just really grateful that you, what I would have called before now queer, that you were queer. Thanks for that, by the way.
You're welcome. I did it for you.
I needed that to be true.
I did it so I would be right for this part.
Thank you. Because that was actually really, really important to me. And I read this that you said in the New York Times a long time ago. I read this probably when I was obsessing about you. And it's funny that you just think that you were sitting there in your bed thinking, I should play this part. And it was coming from nowhere. It was coming from me across the country, praying in my bed to God that she would tap you and say, make you really feel like you needed to play this. But you said, if my life choices had to be predicated based on what was expected of me from a community on either side, that's going to make me feel really straitjacketed. And I don't want to feel that. What I can say absolutely is that I am in love, and that person happens to be Holland Taylor. This is an ongoing life conversation between me and Abby. Do you identify as anything?
I identify as a human being in love. That's how I identify. I sometimes, and this is a more complicated, I reject and resist that which is sort of insisted upon me by any person. It makes me crazy.
Me too.
And it's not because I don't want to belong or I don't feel part of the community as it is. I want to be the president of my life, the governor, the governess, the mayor of my town. And I don't want to be, and I think sometimes it is a bit of a pushback that is just because I feel, I don't know, like I don't want to have to answer to anyone. I want to answer to me, and I want to answer to those people in my life. And I want to live honestly and make honest choices for me. And I don't want to worry about disappoint. I'm already like at war with my own disappointment in myself. I already am having to fight that battle with me, and I'm quite a worthy adversary. And so I just can't have the other noise. It's too much for me. So it's not because I don't feel part of it. It's just, I don't like a label in any which way, and certainly not put on me by anyone other than me. So does that make sense? Does that sound like, I don't want it to feel like it's a rejection of something, to choose that idea or that belief system for me works for me. And I don't mean it to be a rejection of something else. I have no problem if somebody else, wants to label me in one particular way or the other, I suppose, but it's not how I don't know, because, and this will be the most inflaming thing a person could ever say, but I don't know what the future holds. I just don't want to worry about letting anyone else down. I want to be the only person that I'm worried about doing that with, except for the people that are in my immediate circle that I, who I depend on for my brain health and my heart health. And,
I get that deeply. It's kind of like religion in that way.
Yeah.
Well,
I
every
understand.
inclusion is an exclusion.
Exclusion.
Right.
That's right.
I remember when actually Chase came out to us, I remember saying, and if one day in the future you change your mind, like, great. Like, we are good with you. Whoever you want to bring home,
Mm-hmm.
whoever you want to be, we are good.
Yeah,
It's not about us. It's about you. You make you happy.
that's right.
What did he say when you said that? Was he relieved, or did he expect that you would say that? I wonder.
I think he was just like really overwhelmed with having just come out. So I don't know if he actually heard me. I'll circle back around in a couple of years and just
let me
remind
know.
him.
We know what's so funny is that that was our reaction, and that was like the same thing that a person who is very different, like a mother who, like your mom, was like, this isn't necessarily real. Like, you can change your mind.
Mhm.
And that was on one side. And we were on the other side going, oh, you can change your mind. But we meant it like in the most fluid, progressive way.
Yes,
Yeah.
But it was the same thing as saying,
Yeah. Well, no, my mom didn't say you could change your mind. She just said,
you're
no,
not
you're
gay."
not.
Yeah.
I was like, well, no, I am. No,
She was like,
no, you're not.
She's like, I'll just wait here until you change your mind.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not about me. I think it's so beautiful because I think it's really important that you just have to, every single person gets to be and do as they please, I believe. And that is truly what I think being a queer person it's just like, you do you.
And we shouldn't have to belong to people in order to be seen and respected and celebrated. Like
That's right.
that belonging and checking all the boxes shouldn't be a requirement to be seen and allowed in the world.
Except you belong to me.
Except for you. Yes. Yes. Glennon, your hair has gotten really long.
Do you know what happened, Sarah Paulson?
Tell me.
Is that my wife for Christmas got me this fancy thing that is a blow dryer that blow dries in magical ways from some weird company. And because my
Is it a
entire
Dyson?
life,
It's
it's
a
a
Dyson.
Dyson. Yeah, this
I
is
have
not a
that.
commercial for Dyson.
Yeah,
but
sorry, but it works.
no,
It's a great blow dryer. I have it too. It's good.
And
yeah.
Abby looked at me today, and I was actually using it, which is weird. And she was like, what's happening with all of these like waves? And I was like, I just, life is such shit right now. Like, I swear to God, Sarah, I don't understand what's happening. The pandemic.
2022 has been a doozy.
Yeah,
I
it's
went
already
into
just.
it's just already a total effing shit show, and I don't remember who I am or how to be human, and I'm just fucking blow drying my hair, Sarah.
Yeah, I blew dry. I blew mine dry. What is it? Blew it
It's
dry?
a tough one.
I blew it dry.
I blowed it dry. I blowed it dry. I blow dried it.
You done blow dried it.
I blow dried it. Wait, that doesn't sound right. I blow dried it. That's
Blowed
not
it dry.
right.
We blowed it dry.
I blowed it dry. No, that's not right. I blew it dry. I blew it dry. I blew it out. I had a blow dry. I blowed it. No, it's not bloated. It's definitely not that. That shows you how. But I did this.
That's so good. You have a curl.
But see, my hair is curly. I have a curly, weird hair.
Same.
Yeah, same. Another place where we are aligned. But I do think about sometimes the joy I'm going to have with your hair on this show. Yeah. Like early days, long town hair.
You can get Real Housewife extensions. I know you like Real Housewives. So
I do like them. And it's only because I want to play them all, really. That's the thing.
right. Exactly.
I do look at them and I'm like, explain to me what you're doing. I'm trying to understand what you're doing. And I'm fascinated. Maybe I'm just tricking myself into thinking I'm doing something when really it's just like a way of creating some negative space in the brain where I usually have none, you know?
That might be it. So you're calling
it's like
it
a
research.
lot of, so I'm calling it research, but really it's just like this. like a test pattern. That's the extent of my sing. I blew it dry, guys. I blew the front of my hair dry.
You blow it dry.
Well, for
I blow
your
it dry.
sake, I do hope you get to do. I hope they put in the scene when I first went out for Carrie and Warrior, and I went on the Today Show, and I was watching a lot of Real Housewives back then, Sarah Paulson, and they told me I was a mom, and I didn't go anywhere really, but the bus stop and a few other places, and they told me to get TV ready. Okay, so if you're going to tell me to get TV ready, and the only thing I'm watching is The Housewives, what I need you to do is Google at some point my first Today Show. I had extensions down to my waist. I had a skin tight dress on with chicken cutlet plastic things in my boobs so that my boobs would look bigger.
Wow.
I had eyelashes that were 1.5 miles long. I had Botox in my forehead. And my topic was how we should show up as we are, vulnerably, transparently, as ourselves in the world. Okay? And nobody knew what to do with me because obviously. So at one point they discussed, you had this viral essay about don't carpe diem, which has to do with, knowing that being a young mom is hard and time going by fast. So you know how they put the ticker at the bottom with the,
yes,
it's, it will be like Nobel Prize winner or like whatever. Right. Mine said, mother who understands that time goes by fast and is okay with it. That was why I was on the date and is okay with it.
My question is, do you have a date so that because I'm sure that you've been on the Today Show a lot. What is it? What year was it?
Okay, I'm going to send it to you.
I don't know. Please send it to me.
Yes,
because this is.
Mm-hmm. It's too much to be real. It's too much.
But I just I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about also how I can find a chamber that I can step into that will just reduce my height by
I know, isn't that interesting?
It's just like I wish I could just.
Well, what we'll do, Sarah? We'll just make every other person that's
really
around you 4 inches taller.
Listen, they do things like this. I mean, we don't want to give away all the secrets, but they could make a countertop much higher looking so that I'm actually not that much higher than the countertop compared to and then the person. Yeah, you can do all kinds of, there's all kinds of short movie stars that have been towering over women for years.
That's right.
With the help of lifts and boxes and Apple boxes and camera angles. Right. So we can make
How tall are you?
What?
How tall are you? I mean, I know I've already Googled you're 5'6", right?
Well,
5'7"?
No, I'm like 5'6 3/4.
5'7", yeah. Okay.
But I'm not really 5'7" because things have already started to right.
2020 was.
It's like 2020 and 20. It was really hard. So I think I'm like 5'4.5" now.
Right, exactly.
Probably. No. How tall are you? Are you 5'2"?
I'm 5'3".
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Sister,
nope.
yes, I am. I just went to the doctor's appointment. Tell them.
It said 5'3".
Were you?
Look at her. Look at Switzerland over there. It said 5'3". The form that Glennon reported her height, it said 5'3". Right.
How tall is she, Amanda? How tall is she?
She is 5'2 3/4.
Yeah.
What is a quarter? My God. I can't believe we've gone through all this for 1 1/4 of an inch.
I'm just reporting it. She said she's 5'6 3/4, and you're not taking her 3/4. Right. You're rounding yours up.
Nobody will know. Nobody knows how tall people are in television.
I just think whoever our Abby is, she just has to be taller than I am.
Yeah. Open casting, but you have to be 7.5 feet tall.
You have to be 7.5 feet tall, or we won't even see you.
That's right.
We won't even see you. We won't meet. We don't want to see your reading. We're sure you're great, but no.
That's right. So it'll help us narrow it down, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think, and what I mean by that is 5'9", 5'10" is fine because I'll be in some flats, I guess.
That's right.
That's right.
Unless it's the Today Show, and then you're going to need to wear stilettos. Okay. We need to let sweet Sarah Paulson go right now.
Oh, but I hate when Sarah Paulson goes. We're going to have
all these beautiful conversations because we're going to make such beautiful, wonderful things together this year. And I
know. I need us to start.
Don't worry. We've been starting, Sarah Paulson, every day. Sarah McCarran and I have been writing and working every single day. And if you understood the fire and beauty that is going on, I mean, Sarah, Abby walked into the room, into a Zoom the other day.
I thought she was in a proper fight with somebody, like that somebody was attacking. I walk in and I was like, what's going on? And she's just discussing, feminist theory with Sarah McCarran. Like they're just discussing the theory of it all. And she's like, don't tell me. And I was like, is everything okay? She's like, oh yeah, no, we're just talking.
I'm yelling at them.
Right.
Not her.
Right.
Them. Yeah,
So the greatest news about this is that there she is. We found the right person.
we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so incredible.
And she is
It's
great.
a passion
I've
project.
actually
She's
spent
great.
a few hours with her,
She's great.
and she's very, very, very smart.
Yeah.
She's way smarter
And
than
so's
me.
Ben and Jesse, who's gotten us to this point. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she understands the book better than I do, so that was a bonus.
You were like, that
Um,
is what I meant.
That is exactly what I
Yes.
meant with that sentence. It's just
I
that no one else has
did.
brought it up.
No one knew it, including me.
That's
But
right.
thank you. Oh my God. I
I'm
love
so
you
glad
guys.
you exist, and I'm so incredibly grateful that you said yes to this. And
Oh
I
my
just
God.
love you so much. I love who you are in the world. And I just think this is going to be the beginning of many beautiful things to come.
I hope and pray that that is exactly right. And I know it is. I just don't want to let you down. I'm working on it though.
Never.
Working on my
It's done.
my confidence about being
Yeah.
able to do this. Yeah. Gonna be
Aren't
great.
we all?
You're going to be great, and
Yeah.
I will be the best fucking cheerleader in the whole wide
She
world.
is.
Correct. I know that to be.
You're going to do
fact.
great, and Holland and I will sit on the sidelines and just marvel.
And they'll talk about how beautiful we are, even without eyebrows. We love you.
Oh man, I love you.
Thank
I
you
love
for
you
doing
both. I
so
love
many
you all.
hard things.
Thank you for
Mwah.
having me. Goodbye.
You're
Talk
the
soon.
Bye,
absolute
Sarah
best.
Paulson.
You're the absolute best. I love you.
We love you.
I give you Tish Melton and Brandy Carlisle.
I walked through fire, I came out the other side. I chased desire, I made sure I got what's mine. And I continue to believe that I'm the one for me. And because I'm mine, I walk the line. 'Cause we're adventurers and heartbreaks on map, a final destination we lack. We've stopped asking directions to places they've never been. And to be loved, we need to be known. We'll finally find our way back home. And through the joy and pain that our lives bring, we can do hard things. I hit rock bottom, it felt like a brand new start. I'm not the problem, sometimes things fall apart. And I continue to believe the best people are free. And it took some time, but I'm finally fine. 'Cause we're adventurers and heartbreaks on map, a final destination we lack. We've stopped asking directions to places they've never been. And to be loved, we need to be known. We'll finally find our way back home. And through the joy and pain that our lives bring, we can do hard things.
We Can Do Hard Things is produced in partnership with Cadence 13 Studios. Be sure to rate, review, and follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Odyssey, or wherever you get your podcasts. Especially be sure to rate and review the podcast if you really liked it. If you didn't, don't worry about it. It's fine.